Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Vibrant
Wow.
Vision for 2022. And I'm super excited that we're going to be talking about this today. I'm going to assume that all of you are on board for creating a vibrant vision for this coming year, and that's why you're here. So thank you for being here. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa Frost, and I am an integral master coach. I also have a master's degree in integral psychology. And I've been a coach for 15 years. And I would say that my mission is to help people live their happiest, most authentic lives. And I will also say that I didn't always see that as my mission. In fact, I had some pretty big transitions that occurred for me that helped me to understand that that was really what I wanted to focus on. So several years ago, both my parents were actually diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And when I lost my dad in 2018, what I got really clear about was that I didn't want to live my life wishing that I had pursued what was deeply meaningful for me. And really to be able to have an opportunity to be my most expressed, authentic, joyful, fulfilled person possible in this lifetime. And so I embarked on a journey of clearing everything that stood in the way of feeling like I had access to that and could actually bring that out into the world. And now I'm helping other people do the same thing. And so that's why I'm super excited to be here with you today, because I believe that having really vibrant vision for your life is really the first step of all of that. So thank you for joining me today. Okay, so I love to start all of my sessions with a centering exercise. And that just helps us to drop into this space and to feel like we're carving out something a little special for ourselves that is different from what we normally do in our day-to-day lives. So what I'm going to ask at this point is for you to give your body a little stretch. Yeah. And just so you feel like you can settle into your chair. And then take a deep breath, maybe roll your shoulders back a little bit. Take a deep breath and then gently close your eyes. Yeah. And just allow yourself to start to relax. Begin to tune into your inhales and exhales. And follow your breath using that as your point of focus into this present moment. And give your body permission to be still, to be heavy, to sink into the chair where you sit. And then just become aware of any sensations that are present in your body and simply allow them to be there. And now slow down your breathing a little bit more, stretching out the inhales and exhales. And notice any area where you feel tension. Particularly, notice if you're clenching your hands or buttocks or shoulders or jaw or between your eyebrows. And just send some breath to those places. And then become aware of the parts of your body that are already relaxed. And allow that relaxation to deepen and spread. And then take another deep breath and exhale completely. And now breathe into the area surrounding your heart, allowing those muscles to soften and open. And now take a moment to give yourself permission to set aside any other activities and concerns that you may be carrying, letting them go for the next 90 minutes. And make a decision to be 100% present on this call today, and to take the next step toward getting clear on creating a life that you love. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and come back to the call. So welcome back, everyone. So today, as I said, we are going to be, oh, I should probably spotlight my video. Hang on one second here. So today we're going to be talking about creating a vibrant vision for 2022, and we're not going to do that with the conscious mind. We're actually going to do that with a deeper part of ourselves. And one of the things that is interesting about that to me is that the conscious mind has a tendency to limit us into what we currently believe is possible, or at least what parts of us believe is possible. But the unconscious mind doesn't get hung up on that stuff as much. And the unconscious mind begins to, when we can tap into the unconscious mind, we can actually tap into a greater, more expansive version of what we could imagine. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. I would say that the scary part of expanding what's possible when we start to get into that really expansive version is having to confront others' expectations of us, and also having to confront our own expectations of ourselves, and the beliefs that may be holding us back. Some of that has to do with the values that we were raised with, and also the assumptions about what we are or are not good at. And so in order to expand what's possible, we actually have to be willing to ask ourselves what's true for us. We have to get to the core of who we are and what we want. And part of that is learning to listen to the voice of our inner truth, and really beginning to align and act from that place. So today we're going to do an internal exercise that's designed to help you find your inner truth about what you really want to create for yourself in 2022. And I actually want to pause for a moment and talk about what that inner truth is. For anyone who feels a little bit unfamiliar with that, and also for all of us, just as a grounding back into what that means. So deep within at your very core, there's a voice. And this voice is the guiding wisdom that we all have access to. When you clarify and attune to that voice, you actually gain access to that voice in a different way. It becomes clearer. It becomes much more easy to hear it. It becomes a little louder. So for some of you, it may feel like that voice is hard to find, but it actually can be something that's much easier to find. So first we learn how to listen, and then we learn how to speak and act from that place. I would say that that place of inner wisdom is actually the source of right speech, right action, right livelihood. And it's really the ground from which your purpose and values and personal ethics can arise organically across all of the domains of your life. When your heart and your body and your mind and your soul are aligned, you actually experience what I would call a profound sense of rightness all the way down. And this is your truth. And it's the truth about who you are, about what you want, about why you're here. And I would say that this truth is really the very thing that has been guiding your quest in your life for a deeper sense of authenticity, for what your purpose is, and also for meaning and fulfillment. So in my language, I call that truth. I call that place of complete knowing your deepest yes. And I want to clarify that this isn't about finding like your truest self per se. It's about integrating all of who you are and making peace with the past, and then really embracing life as your greatest teacher. So it's about using the power of clarity and conviction and personal accountability toward going after what would be most fulfilling and authentic for you. And so I describe it as really living your deepest yes is living in alignment with that deep truth in everything that you say and do, and releasing everything that obscures that truth. When you do this, you naturally and organically create a life that's deeply fulfilling and meaningful, purposeful, authentic. So I want to pause here and actually just talk about what aligning with your truth feels like, because most everybody in this room has a sense of what that means. And so if you already feel like you know what aligning with your truth feels like, put it in the chat. What does it feel like to you? Don't be shy. This is the interactive portion. Okay, thank you. I only get glimpses, Scott said. Okay. Latika, being my whole self, the good and bad. Yep. Aaliyah.
Question again.
Whoop. What was that?
Could you repeat the question?
You bet. What does aligning with your truth feel like? What does it feel like in your body? What does it feel like in your heart? What does it feel like? Yep, we have Jan said one heart with all. Mindy, at peace and inspired, coming from a place of harmony. I love that. Jim, being authentic, not hypocritical. Mark, motivating. Yeah. Elaine, being relaxed. Phyllis, centered, open, and generous. Foods are us. Open flow through all channels. Yep. Anthony, personal integrity. Yeah. Elise, welcoming everything, allowing things to be as they are. Wheaton, happy, one mind, one focus. Cheryl, unfettered. Yeah. Jim, peace. Yeah. Coming from a place of essence. Thank you, Claire. Love that. Yes, exactly. So you all know what this feeling is like. Wouldn't it be great to have more of that feeling guiding your life all the time? Yes, Lubabalo, being present, trusting through paradox. I love that. So yeah, so I would describe it as, right, a feeling of expansion rather than contraction, right? At its most basic in the body, it's being expanded, not contracted. An inner knowing that you're on track, feeling like something just locks into place, feeling like you are saying yes all the way down. I love the motivation, whoever said that. Yep, a natural motivation, feeling like something just lights you up. Also, you may experience it as like childlike enthusiasm and exuberance. And it just kind of create like a spring in step. And it can also feel like a sense of certainty that's all just going to work out, like it's just a knowing. Right? Good. So let me ask you this. Let's go on the flip side. What does not being aligned feel like? So put that in the chat. What does not being aligned feel like? Yep, self-fragmentation, alienated from self, stressful. Yeah, frustrating, scattered, lost, hindered and frustrated, confused, unsettling, anxious, disempowering, fearful, lost and unhappy. Body pain, yeah, totally. Yeah, these are good. These are good. Yeah, and I would powerless, thanks Elaine. Yeah, restless, frustrated, stiffness, confused, stressed, exhausted. Yeah. Yeah, not our favorite place to be, right? I would say that it also can show up as longing for meaning and purpose, right? Not knowing what you really want, having a lack of clarity about next steps, and feeling like you don't have the courage or the resources to really take any next steps. I think it can show up as feeling off track, unfulfilled. It can also show up as chronic dissatisfaction, ambivalence. Mindy, thank you, internal conflict. Yeah, so all of these, right? So we have a sense of what it feels to feel like aligned, being aligned, and what it feels not to feel aligned. So let's talk about what prevents us from aligning with our truth. Let's put that in the chat. What do you think prevents you from aligning? Fear, yeah. Survival needs, sure, sure. Not knowing what I want. Yeah, what else? What else can hold you back from that? Rejection, ego patterns, limiting beliefs, past programming. Yep, need for approval, belonging, need for belonging, not trusting my own ability to assess. Sure. Fear and pain, fear of the unknown. Yep, what others think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Attention scattered. Sure, not being focused, fear of failure. These are good. Yeah. Yeah, all of these can actually feel like they prevent us from aligning with our truth. Watching the news, thank you. Yes, Anthony, I agree that that has the same effect on me. Yeah, beating yourself up for sure. Yeah, and so in terms of like categories here, what I would say that the main categories of things that prevent us from or feel like they're preventing us from aligning with our truth are really outdated beliefs, right? Beliefs that we've been carrying for a long time, habits and behaviors, um, identity. So that means things that we're actually identified with, things that we think are us that actually are not us. Our shadow. So this is pieces of ourself that we've disowned. Um, Past experiences and traumas. Fear. A lot of people said fear for sure, and resistance. Right, resistance. So we're going to do this inner exercise to contact your inner truth and your inner wisdom. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and then I'm going to take you through a guided internal exercise similar to the one we did, the centering exercise we did a few minutes ago. And in that process, I'm going to ask you a series of questions to help you get clear information and answers from inside. Now, you're going to want to have a piece of paper and a pen for this. And the way that this will work is we will actually go inside, and then I will pause for you to get the answers from within, and then also to make some notes if you would like. I'm going to suggest that you make small notes about whatever's coming up, enough to jog your memory for later, and then I'm going to ask you to float back down when we're ready for the next question. Okay. So we're going to do that now. So why don't you go ahead and again, just, this is a lot of cognitive stuff. So let's just shake all that off for a second. Lots of thinking and being in our heads. So we're actually going to get back into our bodies, and we need to give our bodies an opportunity to feel like they can settle. So just resettle yourself in your seat. Good. Okay. So before we begin, the crucial thing to understand is that in order to make the changes that you desire, you have to tell yourself the truth. You have to be willing to tell yourself the truth about how things really are for you right now, and then also about what you really want. And that means allowing yourself to hear and acknowledge your deepest feelings and thoughts about the conditions and circumstances of your life as they are currently. By getting quiet and then going inside, we're going to bypass the usual surface patterns of thoughts and excuses and denials and expectations, and really connect to that truth so that you actually feel and know what that is for you. So the key to getting quiet, so the internal exercise works effectively, is to focus on your breath like we did at the beginning, to relax and not try to get the answers. Just be aware of the answers kind of arising. They can show up in a lot of different ways. It might show up as images or sentences or words or just feelings. Allow yourself to be open to thoughts and ideas, even if they don't initially seem to make sense. And then have an intention to see a deeper truth for yourself. So, something that's going to take you closer to your unrealized vision and goals for 2022. Okay. Um, so, wherever you are, just go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath and just allow your body to relax and become still. Breathe easily and bring your attention onto your breath, noticing your inhales and exhales, and using this as a point of focus to bring your attention into the present moment. Let any other thoughts or concerns simply drift by without becoming engaged in them. And then give yourself permission to access the wisdom from within you and get clear, useful answers. And on your next breath, imagine that you are sinking down inside yourself to a place that's beyond your intellect, beyond your ideas of good, bad, right, or wrong, and beyond any excuses or rationalizations or stories. And as you do, allow yourself to simply reflect on where you are right now in your life. We're going to look at the different areas of your life. And as we do, just allow yourself to notice the conditions and circumstances of each area without judging them. And as we go through them, I'll ask you to rate each one on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 as the highest for how satisfied, fulfilled, and happy you are with that area. And rather than thinking a lot about it, from this quiet place, just notice what your first reaction is when I mention each area. Go to the area of your family and friends and observe the feelings and thoughts that you have as you think about that area. Noticing how much time you spend with family and friends. Noticing what you feel good about in this area of your life. And then asking yourself if everything in this area is the way you want it. And now allow a rating from 1 to 10 to come to you, trusting whatever number you get first is probably correct. And then just write it down without trying to understand or justify it. Then go back inside, taking another breath. And now move to the area of work and career and contribution. How do you feel about your work, your job, or lack thereof, your contribution or service? Just notice how much time you spend in this area of work and career and contribution. Are you fulfilled and satisfied? Are you excited and passionate? Are you doing what you want to be doing? And is this area of your life the way you want it? Just notice. And now, what number between 1 and 10 most represents your present level of satisfaction with the area of work and career? You can float back up and write that down. And take another breath, releasing that area of your life. And now shift your attention to body and health. How content are you with this area of your life? What kind of time and attention do you give this area? What are your feelings about the condition of your body and how you feed and treat it? And what about your health? Do you feel good? Are you healthy? Do you have the vitality that you want and need? And now notice your level of satisfaction in this area, and then give it a ranking on the 1 to 10 scale. And then taking another breath and floating back down. Now look at the area of primary relationship. Are you satisfied in this area of your life? How much time and energy do you devote to this area? Do you have an intimate relationship that feels fulfilling, where you feel happy and have good communication and are growing together? Is there enough sex and intimacy? Are you with a partner you trust, respect, and love, and who feels the same about you? And again, just rate your level of satisfaction with this area on a scale of 1 to 10. And if you're not in a relationship and that feels satisfying to you, don't feel afraid to put that number down. And then just return inward. Taking another breath. And going on to the area of your money and finances. So, what kind of response does the area of money and finances inspire within you? How much positive attention do you give it? Do you have all the money you need right now? Are you planning and saving for your future? Do you feel good about the way you handle and manage your money? Go ahead and rate your satisfaction with the area of money and finances on the scale. And then return inward. And now move on to the area of your home and daily environment. As you reflect on this area, is it nurturing, safe, and comfortable for you? How much time and energy do you put toward your home and surroundings? Do you love your home? Do you like your furnishings and decor? Do you feel good about your home when others visit? So, from 1 to 10, rate your current level of satisfaction with this area of your life. And taking another breath, return inward. And now consider the area of your personal or spiritual development or your relationship with something larger than yourself. Are you satisfied in this area? How much time do you devote to it? Do you feel connected to some larger whole? Do you have a sense of somehow being supported and loved? Do you have a belief system that helps to bring your life meaning and purpose? And from 1 to 10, what is your level of satisfaction in this area? And take another breath. And finally, let's move to the area of enjoyment and fun and relaxation. How do you feel about this part of your life? Do you take time to relax and enjoy leisure activities? What kinds of hobbies, sports, or interests do you cultivate? How much do you travel, play, or do things that allow you to take a break from your day to day circumstances? Just notice your level of satisfaction in this area of fun and relaxation, and write that down. And take another breath. And now take a moment to choose 3 areas that you'd like to dive deeper into for 22. Just notice which ones you're drawn to. They may be the ones that you rated lowest, and they may not be. And if you'd like to float up and glance at your notes and circle the ones that pop out for you, you can. And then gently float back down. Take a breath. And now ask yourself, which one area of my life is most important for me to focus on right now? And now take the area that you chose to focus more deeply on And again, allow yourself to see this area of your life as it is now. What's currently great about it? Some things are probably going really well. Just take a moment to reflect on what's absolutely great about where you are in this area and what you feel most grateful for. And now, without slipping into negativity and judgment, take a moment to reflect on what isn't going well, where you don't feel satisfied in this area, what feels like it's missing. And as you see that, just acknowledge it. In this area, what would you like to experience instead? What do you want? What would feel satisfying, nourishing, fulfilling, and meaningful? Allow yourself to get really specific. What would inspire you in this area? What would make you want to jump out of bed in the morning, excited to begin another day? And as you get those answers, as you see that vision, just float up and take any notes you'd like to. What would inspire you? What would feel satisfying, nourishing, fulfilling, and meaningful? And take another breath, floating back down. And reflect on what you just wrote. Acknowledge to yourself that this is what you really want. And then fully give yourself permission to have that desire. And take another breath, almost like you're breathing in that vision. And allow that desire for what you just identified to expand and magnify and grow. And now, in the presence of that desire, complete this sentence. I'd really love to have that, but I'd really love to have that, but what are the thoughts and beliefs that tell you it's not possible? Write them down. What behaviors and habits do you engage in that derail you from having what you want? Write those down too. What current commitments or roles do you have that feel like they prevent you from having this? And just continue to breathe. What expectations or judgments from others feel like they hold you back? In what other ways or how is there other resistance that shows up for having or going after what you want? I'd love to have that, but And take another breath. And just acknowledge that this is all of the stuff that feels like it stands in the way of you going after your vision. Just acknowledge it without judging it. And then dropping back in, take another breath. And now ask yourself, if this area of your life was already a 10 for you, if it was just how you've always dreamed it could be, what are two feelings that you would have that feels like they're missing for you now? What are two feelings you would have more of if this area were a 10? Now drop back in. And now, what's one thing that you could do in this area to have more of those feelings? What's one action or practice that you could begin now or this week to bring you more of those two feelings that feel like they're missing in this area? Just trust whatever comes up. What is one action or practice that you could do? Then close your eyes and go back inside. And take another breath. And again, acknowledge what you want in this area of your life. Affirm your vision to yourself. And now allow yourself to see what kind of person could easily accomplish this vision. What two qualities will most naturally lead you to the fulfillment of your vision? And when you have your two qualities, open your eyes and write them down. What are the two qualities that anyone with this vision would need to have in order to see it through? And turning back inside. And now, in the presence of these qualities, allow yourself to see the thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs that you hold that keep you from expressing these qualities more fully in your life right now. What do you do or not do that prevents you from accessing these two qualities? And make note of that. And take another breath. Drop back inside. And now just look to see if there's some way that you're currently out of integrity that clouds your ability to access these qualities. Is there something that you need to clean up or complete? Is there some place you need to take responsibility for yourself so these qualities can be more fully expressed? And continue to breathe. Dropping back in. What do you need to give up in order to allow these qualities to emerge more fully? What behavior, belief, habit, or way of being will you have to give up? And now take another breath, allowing yourself to drop back in. You can set down your pen for this next part. Returning back. And now allow yourself to see what it would look like 5 years from now if you didn't develop these qualities. What will your life be like if you don't further develop these qualities in 5 years? What will it look like? Just imagine. Just see it. And now allow yourself to see all the ways that it would serve you if you do what's necessary to develop and nurture these qualities that are yearning to be expressed. How will these qualities serve you? Raise your self esteem, support you in creating 2022 as your best year ever. Just give yourself permission to see the positive effect on all the domains of your life if you were to develop these qualities. And then give yourself permission also to see the positive effect on the people around you. And as you get present to all of that, take another breath and just say yes to yourself if you want that. And now breathe again and imagine yourself a few days or weeks from now. And you've taken the actions needed to help raise your level of satisfaction in this area of your life. And you're now feeling more of the feelings that were missing for you. Imagine looking around your life and just see how much more fulfilling it seems to you. How much more self-expressed are you? What's available to you that hasn't been available to you before? What new possibilities can you see for even more fulfillment and satisfaction? And if you'd like to take some notes about that, you can. And now take another breath and ask yourself, how much value could you attain from regularly accessing your inner wisdom and bringing your life into alignment with your values and your deepest desires and authentic truth? How much value could you attain from that? And how could being supported in this way help propel you toward living a life that's extraordinary and fulfilling your vision? If you want to make some notes, you can. And then take another breath all the way down into your belly, letting it out. And this time, ask yourself, what fear could stop you from committing to yourself in this way? What fear could stop you from committing to yourself in this way? And take another breath and let that be okay for right now. Just breathe deeply again and thank yourself for connecting with and accessing and listening to this inner wisdom. And acknowledge what could be available to you if you make a practice of doing something like this on a regular basis and got any support that you needed. And if you're willing to take the actions that you came up with during this exercise, make a commitment to yourself that you will do them. Say that to yourself now. I commit to whatever it is. And then take another deep breath and just imagine floating back up, bringing your attention back to your room and the chair where you sit. And when you're ready, just give yourself a little stretch and gently open your eyes. Great work, everyone. So look around your room at 3 objects just to help you reground. We did some long inward journeying. And I've got a couple of questions for you. And again, I'd love you to put these in the chat. What are the feelings that you want to feel more of that came up for you in the exercise? Let's share those across the group. What are the feelings that came up? Confidence, yeah. Beauty and connection. Love that. Intimacy. Yeah. Invigorated. Yeah. Trust, contentment, right living, ease, enthusiasm, fun, and bliss. Yeah. Fully integrated. Love that. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Beautiful. Clarity, insights, freedom. Yep. Mm, good. Familiarity. Okay. Nice. Yeah. These are great. Um, oh, we got some more. Claire, thank you. Connection, engagement. Oh, it's okay to succeed. I love that. Yeah. Nice. Ease and loving. What are the two qualities that you'd like to develop that came up for you during this exercise? What were the two qualities? Oh, don't be shy. Yep, okay. More exercise, keeping up with friends, decision making, confidence, decidedness, confidence and clarity, courage, radical honesty. Love that. Strength, discipline, and sense of order, more positive energy. Nice. Yeah. Listening, smiling, silence, practicality, calendar discipline. Yep. Good. Good. Peaceful. Yeah. Nice. Okay. If you feel like you'd like to have, oh, faith, trust, and consistency. Yep. Love it. Courage and patience. Mm. So if you feel like you want to make a commitment to the action that you got, if you feel committed to that action, I'm going to invite you actually put that in the chat too. This is so you can feel a different level of accountability by actually voicing it in the group. So yeah, put into the chat any actions that you're committed to taking. Yes, I love that. Any actions? Moving through dance and being in nature. Yep. Commit 100%. Commit to listening with intention. Yep. I commit to asking the divine for help every day. Love that. Wow. I am committed to energy bursts and my treadmill. Yay. Being more courageous, asking for help when needed, calendaring and prioritizing priorities. Yes. Committing to action, being okay with less doing. Yeah, nice. Vocally connecting with humans. Yep, that's a good one. Yeah. Great work, you guys. This is awesome. Excellent. Okay, so what I'd love to do, oh, reaching out for your tribe. Yep. So I'd love to give you some ways to take this deeper and to look at a couple of things that could help you to, yeah, just go deeper with this for yourself for this year. Is that okay? You guys interested in that? Okay, good. All right, so a couple things. I'm going to give you a bonus practice in a minute that you can do on your own that's going to help you address resistance that I find very, very effective. But first, what I want to do is announce that I am doing a deep dive into this work that I'm offering, and it's called Live Your Deepest Yes. What I'm going to be doing is taking a small group of people and helping you uncover anything that's holding you back from aligning with your authentic truth, and really so that you can design a life that's deeply fulfilling and purposeful and authentic, so that you can have the vision that you created today. And so, and when I say uncover anything that's holding you back, we're actually also going to address that and clear it. And so you actually got a ton of information about some of the things that are holding you back through this practice that we did today, this exercise. And it would be working with that particular material. So what this is a 4-month live group coaching program with a total of 35 hours live with me. And we're going to kick it off with a half-day virtual retreat on January 29th, which I'm super excited about. And then we're going to meet for weekly sessions. And again, these weekly sessions are really going to be designed to help you release whatever's holding you back from having what you want. And we're also going to focus on action that you can take to powerfully step into the vision that you created today, and even further than that, as well as a way of being in your life. So what I would say about that is at the end of that live group coaching, what you're going to receive is being crystal clear about what's going to give you the greatest sense of fulfillment and joy. You're going to be able to make peace with the past so that you can harness the energy that's been taking and go after what you really want. And you're going to feel better able to deal with circumstances in your life that are beyond your control and feel more confident about your ability to handle that. And yeah, you're going to discover a deeper sense of meaning and more expansive purpose so that each day you wake up excited and really ready to take inspired action towards your vision. And we're going to work with shifting your way of being in your life so that more and more your life looks on the outside the way that you imagine it on the inside. So if you do feel ready to address what came up today and clear it, then this program might be a really good fit for you. And I can say that that others who have gone through this program have had some pretty extraordinary results. And if you're interested in hearing about that, you can see some video testimonials about that on my website, which is yourdeepestyes.com, yourdeepestyes.com. And lastly, I'll just say that right now I'm offering a 45% discount as a New Year's special on that program. And I'm not going to be offering that rate in the future, but I'm feeling super, inspired about 2022. And I'm really wanting to help others say yes to themselves this year, especially given everything that's happened in the last 2 years. So again, if you're ready to address what you just uncovered and actually create the vision that came to you, then this might be a really good time to commit to yourself. You can find all the information, including the 45% off coupon code at yourdeepestyes.com. And now, as promised, I also want to talk about what you can do on your own. So the first thing that you can do is you can go back and create a vision for the other 2 areas of your life that you circled, just in the same way that we did the one today, where you get very, very in touch with what you'd like to create, what would most inspire you for that area of your life, as well as what some of the things that are holding you back from having it. You can go ahead and identify an action that would help you bring yourself closer to having that vision in that area. And I would suggest doing that for the other two pieces. In terms of working with resistance, this is a really, really powerful exercise. It's super simple, but it's surprisingly powerful. And the reason why this exercise I'm about to give you is so powerful is because when we tend to meet resistance, we usually contract around it. We contract in our thoughts, we contract in our heart, we contract in our bodies. And then we start judging it and trying to push it away. Like that is our natural way of handling resistance unless we know how to work with it. And so I'm going to offer you this as a way to simply work with that resistance as it arises. And you can use this if you're having resistance about the action that you need to take or any of the parts of the vision that came up for you. So the first part of this is actually softening it by first accepting it, the resistance. And I like to do that through noticing and naming it. Oh, look, resistance is here. Look, I'm feeling resistant, right? This is without judging, noticing and naming. And then by releasing the tension in your body. So we did this as part of our centering exercise at the very beginning of our day today. What we did was we started breathing and we started relaxing. And you can do that same breathing technique that we used at the beginning, where you slow down your breath, you release the tension in your body, all the places where you may be clenching, and then you breathe into your heart. So that's step 2. Release the tension in your body. Slow that breath down. Breathe into your heart. And then step 3 is to open and expand the area of your heart. So in the first part, we're getting present to our bodies. In the second part, we're getting present to our heart. And in the final step, you simply lean slightly away from whatever's arising. You give it plenty of space to be there without having to magnify it or express it or push it away. You don't have to try and manage it. You don't have to try and make it become something else. When we relax around something and we learn to be with whatever is arising inside of us, we give it an opportunity to release on its own. This is a very basic surrender practice. And what we're surrendering is whatever in us wants to try and contract around what is naturally arising inside of us. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So I first want to thank you so much for coming today. And I'm going to stay on. So it's 11:27, and I know that we had 90 minutes, and I want to respect your time. But I'm going to stay on after the session for anybody who wants to share more about what came up for you during this exercise or has any questions or comments. We'll just hang out for a little while. And if you do have to drop off, then I just really want to thank you so much for being here today. I really, really enjoyed doing this with you, and very much appreciate that this is how you chose to spend your time on this Saturday. And I hope it's been valuable for you. So thank you. And I'm just going to open up the room for any questions, comments, or anything else. So what I would say about that is that first, doing what we did today, where you're actually listening to yourself more and developing a deeper relationship with that voice that's coming from inside, is going to be a big part of it. I think that that's a really common thing. We get so, there's, of course, there's always intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. And a lot of us have a combination of both of them that are actually necessary for us to feel super motivated. And it's easy to rely on the external part. It's easy to rely on how we feel motivated by things outside of us. And it's harder sometimes to remember that, in fact, if we tune into that voice inside, that we can get a ton of motivation. So part of it is grounding in what we actually want, right? And being really clear on a daily basis about what that is and what we're going for, and what our big reason for it is. Like, what is that big why that we are going for what we want? Allowing it to really fill out, allowing it to come alive. One of the reasons I named this vibrant vision is that the idea around here is to make it as vibrant as possible, so it does sort of serve as a North Star for you internally, that you can continue to come back to and say, yeah, that's what I really want. Yes, that's what I really want. That's why I'm doing this. That's what I really want. So I think that that's a big part of it. And for those of us who do respond to external motivation, setting deadlines, right? Having an accountability partner, doing work like this in a group where it feels like there's some external accountability, all of those can really help too. I hope that was helpful. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to, in the course itself, what we're going to focus on is, as I said, is clearing the things that have stood in the way of you actually taking that action.
Yeah.
And then taking the action.
So, yeah, good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I get that. Some of us respond way better to having a facilitator do it. It's and especially at the beginning. Once you've been doing it for a long time, it's like a muscle, like any other kind of muscle that you develop. Yeah. So we do in the program, we actually do a ton of internal work where I'm facilitating processes like these. But we go actually quite a lot deeper, not necessarily longer. I don't want to freak you out about that, but deeper.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess the way that I would answer that is that the work that I do is really designed to bring that information out from your unconscious, bring the information out from your inner wisdom. We're bypassing intellect on a lot of this stuff. It doesn't mean that intellect doesn't have a place. It does, very much so. It has a place as a tool for us. And the more that we can put it in service of actually creating plans around what we want to do and enacting that in the world, that's great. But when it comes to idea stagnation, I would say that often that's because we're trying to figure it all out in our heads, and that can create that sense of stagnation. Where if we get quiet and we actually drop inward and access that wisdom in a very specific way, we can often have ideas that feel like they're beyond us, that they arose from something that our minds could never have come up with. And those are really the answers that the course is designed to help you get to. And for anybody here who has questions that they'd like to ask me privately, my email address is lisa@yourdeepestyes.com. lisa@yourdeepestyes.com. I invite you to reach out to me. You can ask me any questions about what we did today. You can ask me questions about the program. If you want to just connect about whether or not the program would be right for you, I can help you sort that out. Yeah. Good. All right. Well, have we done it? Okay. Good. Well, thank you again so much, everybody, for joining today. And do remember to fill out that survey if you would, please. Your feedback is super important to me. It helps me to design these sessions in better and better ways. So I would welcome any feedback you have, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. But I really enjoyed being with all of you today. And yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Take good care and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank
Bye.
you. See you.